Let's do a little story time. Back into my 20s, into my teens even probably. I want to tell you about my ex-girlfriends and how I met them and all that shit. My first girlfriend I actually met in high school, and the way that I met her was on the school bus. So I was always kind of an outgoing kid, always kind of doing weird stuff, but I wasn't very calibrated. I wasn't very smooth and suave with it back then. I was kind of just a complete mess. Now, on this school bus, I would basically just be bored because of my ADHD and fuck with everyone on the bus. Not in a mean way, not in a bullying way, just, well, maybe some people thought I was bullying, but I was just basically having fun with everyone on the bus. I would go from seat to seat, talking to people, acting like a jackass, and then there was this one freshman, and I think I was a junior, and I saw she was always really quiet, and she never talked, and she ended up being in the seat in front of me. And I remember tapping on her head and being like, "Who's that? Who are you?" And I had a little chat with her, and then from there, we had like a little crush on each other. And I think the next day I talked to her on the bus. Let me guess. And she was like, "Take my number," or something like that. And I think the next day I called her up. We talked on the phone. And after we talked on the phone, I was like, this isn't going to work out. We don't connect at all. And then I think the next time we chatted, we set up just like a date. I was like, all right, let's go on a date. We hung out, and it ended up being pretty awesome. Over time, because, I don't know, I'm the type of guy that if a girl really likes me a lot and we have good chemistry and she just keeps committing to the relationship, I'm the type of guy that'll just be like, all right, let's do this. Let's make a real relationship out of it. And it went from that, just like very little puppy love, and it turned into a full-on, like, serious, I was in love with this girl for a long time. And this is what she looks like. Now, this is us in college. We're the two people in the middle. Let's see, it'll get my face out of the way, so. We're the two people in the middle. And, yeah, we were pretty much in love for a while, and then that was that. When I was in college, I don't know. I was too interested in girls, and I don't know. Maybe I should have kept it up. I have no idea. But that was my first ever girlfriend. That was, a serious thing for me. Next, girlfriend number 2 was actually good friends with my first girlfriend. However, we met years later. We actually ended up meeting at a bar in our town years later through friends. And this was at the point where I was going out every night, meeting people every night, just being as social as possible. I was like 24 years old. And I saw her, and first of all, she was gorgeous to me. And I was just like blown away. And she was with a mutual friend and somebody that I knew. So I ended up chatting with her for literally like 5 minutes. But there was something about that conversation where I just felt so, like, such a strong chemistry, such an easiness to the conversation that I was like, I need to see this girl again. She was adorable. I've never really met the girl before. I just knew she was friends with my ex-girlfriend, and I knew that she was friends with other people that I knew. But when we finally sat down and had a conversation, I was like, whoa, this is like a chemistry it's like, I hardly have anything like this. So I remember from that moment, I worked on pursuing her for the next like 3 months or something. We hung out once, and I remember our first time we hung out, we went to see some view in our town that showed like a really beautiful view of the city, and I held hands with her, and like that was it. This was about 8 years ago. I think like 9 years ago. And from that time, I know I should have made a move at that time. And then she went to go visit family for like 6 months or something like that, 3 months. And I didn't get to see her at all in that time. And I was like, damn it. So when she gets back, I'm going to make sure I hang out with her, and I'm going to make sure I seal the deal with her. And she was putting this date off for months and months. And I remember telling my best friend and my best friend's girlfriend, I was like, I'm going to get this girl. And my best friend's girlfriend at the time was like, dude, she's gorgeous. You are not getting this girl. And I was like, ah. Eventually we made plans to hang out. And then as I'm driving to pick her up, I'm texting her. I was like, I'm on my way. And she goes, oh, actually, I'm not feeling that well. And I texted her back. I called her up and I was like, listen, I'm on my way. I'm picking you up right now. Get dressed. Don't worry about it. Everything's going to be fine. I was like, if I don't hang out with this girl, I am never going to hang out with her. And so I picked her up. We went on a date. And once again, the chemistry was super duper there. And this time, I made sure that I didn't fuck up like I did last time. And I put on the moves this time. Did a little smoochy. And from there, I think I fell in love with that girl that night. And I think we fell in love that night. And ever since then, we had like a 2-year relationship. And it was a great relationship. I loved it. It was great. I moved to New York then. She moved to New York. And we broke up from there. We were in different places in our life. A few years later, I was at my favorite place in New York City. And I was coaching a client, and he actually ended up talking to some woman, and she was at the door of my favorite place in New York City called the Standard Bar and Grill. It's this bar that's right at the bottom of the Standard Hotel, and it's just everything I could want in a bar is there. And my client comes over to me and goes, this woman, you guys would be perfect for each other. She's a life coach. She's worked with kids, and I've worked with kids in the past. I got to introduce you. So I go on over and I talk to her, and yeah, we had some chemistry. I could tell she was a little bit nervous though. And so I chatted with her for a couple minutes, and I was like, listen, let me get your number. And I didn't really think much of it. I called her. I think I texted her the next day. We hung out that weekend, and chemistry was there like crazy. And the thing I really focus on is chemistry. That's how I date the women that I really care about, is I look for chemistry. When that chemistry is there, when that feeling is so easy, I don't worry about anything else. I go towards chemistry because chemistry is easy. Chemistry feels good, and there's a effortlessness to it. And that's usually, when I meet a girl like that, that's usually when, we end up getting into a serious relationship. So I dated her for a couple months, and finally I asked her to be my girlfriend, and we dated for about 8 months. It was a really good relationship. You want to see what she looks like? Right here. I remember the one thing I liked most about her, well, at first, before I really got to know her, was her accent. She had the exact same accent as Penelope Cruz.
He didn't know what we were saying, and this morning he told me again, he still today doesn't know if we were talking about the atomic bomb or what we were talking about.
Colombian. So then, I don't know how much longer later, maybe a year later, maybe a half, and I was part of this New York City club. New York City loves club. This is I think, the best way to date great people because, like I said, it's classy people networking with each other, and when you can make friends with everyone, meeting women is really easy. So I remember walking into the clubhouse, one of the rooms, and I saw a bunch of people. There were 8 people just sitting on the couch, and I just walked in, and I remember this girl was gorgeous, and I was like, damn, this girl's really freaking beautiful. And she was with this guy that I met a little bit earlier from meeting at the clubhouse. And I'm having a fun time chatting with everyone. And then there's this one moment where I'm chatting with the girl that I thought was really cute. And once again, there was this little chemistry we had, and we both liked rock climbing, and there was just feeling that I had with her, and I really liked it. And so from there, I was like, listen, we should go rock climbing together. Let's exchange contacts. And I don't know if I got her phone number or Facebook, but I think that week I was like, all right, let's go rock climbing. She came, she met up with me, and I remember in the future she said, I was about to cancel on you. Once again, this other girl was about to cancel on me, but she said, I think she said something along the lines of like, there was something that told me to just go on the date. So we went on the date, and it was a day date. We went rock climbing together. It was great. Once again, the chemistry was... At the time, I was having these really cool art parties in the city where a bunch of people would come and dress up and drink champagne, and I would have an artist paint as people were like mingling. And I invited her to one of my parties, and she got... I think it was after even like a month and a half, 2 months, I asked her to be my girlfriend. I am the type of person where I usually wait a long time to get in a serious relationship because, I don't know, I'm just really picky, and I would rather be single than be in a relationship, So it takes me a while to be like, wow, this is really worth it. And I mean, it was relatively quick with her. I think it was 1 or 2 months I asked to be my girlfriend, and we dated for not a long time, like maybe like 6 months or something like that. And that was it. I mean, these are the girlfriends of my 20s. And oh, let me show you her. The interesting thing about her is I think I was 30 at the time, and I think she was 20 at the time. So it was a 10-year difference. But I mean, we talked about that on our first date. And I mean, I didn't... Just thought it would be fun to tell you what my experience is. Maybe somehow you could take that advice and use it in your own life and, see how it works with you. So what I want to know is, in the comments, tell me, what was your first relationship like your first serious relationship? Tell me the story in the comments. How did you meet her? How did you meet him? And how did it go? I'm interested.